Welcome back, American Coin Hunter. Today, we're going deep into the world of 1-cent coins, specifically the 1981 Lincoln cent. You might think a penny is just a tiny coin worth 1 cent, practically nothing. But for coin collectors, numismatists, and treasure hunters, every piece hides a story, a bit of history, a distinct personality, and sometimes even surprising value. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off those jars of pocket change, and let's explore the 1981 penny, like you've never heard it before. The 1981 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909, honoring the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln cent was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person on the obverse, breaking with the earlier tradition of symbolic figures. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is depicted in profile, looking to the right. On the reverse, for the 1981 coin, you see the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, a symbol of freedom, unity, and historical legacy. The portrait of Lincoln was created by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB occasionally appear on the obverse near Lincoln's shoulder. The reverse design with the Lincoln Memorial is by Frank Gasparo. Antiques know-how in terms of basic specifications. The 1981 Lincoln penny is a small coin with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a weight of approximately 3.11 grams. It has a plain, smooth edge, and in 1981 it was made with a copper alloy composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This means it is heavier and has a deep reddish copper hue compared to modern pennies made after 1982, which contain mostly zinc with a thin copper plating. Antiques Know-How +1. The mint marks for 1981 include no mint mark for coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a D for the Denver Mint, and an S for the San Francisco Mint, the latter typically denoting proof examples made for collectors rather than for general circulation. Antiques Know-How, although billions of these coins were produced, making them very common in circulation. The fascinating part for collectors lies in the varieties, errors, grading conditions, and potential values these coins can have in the marketplace. And while some online listings and rumors might try to claim that a 1981 penny is worth $246 million, that figure is not supported by any verified sale or auction record for a 1981 Lincoln cent. The real market for this coin tells a more nuanced and interesting story in everyday pocket change. A circulated 1981 penny is typically worth just its face value, 1 cent. In fact, most of these coins continue to circulate and get spent every day. However, collecting is not about ordinary. It's about exceptional, rare, and unusual. Alcoinvalues.com. When you start to look at condition, things begin to change. Collectors use grading scales from poor to flawless. A coin with no wear at all that looks almost brand new is much more desirable than one that is worn and scratched. For example, an uncirculated MS65RD 1981 penny could be worth more than $20 in an average collectible market, while coins in pretty worn condition, for example a U53 or EF grades, might be worth only a few cents or a few dollars. Cointrackers.com. Now, let's talk about errors and varieties, because this is where the excitement really begins. Coin errors occur during the minting process when something goes slightly, sometimes wildly, wrong. These errors transform an ordinary penny into an object of fascination for collectors, and sometimes into something valuable. One of the most popular categories of errors is the off-center strike. This happens when the planchet, the blank metal disc that becomes a coin, isn't perfectly centered when it's struck by the dies. The result is a crescent-shaped imprint where part of the design is missing. For a 1981 penny, depending on how far off-center the strike occurred and how much of the design is missing, collectors have been known to pay hundreds of dollars for dramatic off-center examples, especially ones with a visible date and significant missing portions. Coin value checker. Another category is die cracks and die breaks, when the coining die has fractures due to stress. These manifest as raised lines running across the coin's surface. Minor die cracks might only add small value, perhaps a few dollars, but larger cracks crossing major design elements can dramatically increase interest and worth. Coin value checker. Then, there are fold-over strikes, where a portion of the planchet folds over during a strike, producing duplicated patterns or irregular surfaces. Some fold-over strike 1981 Lincoln pennies graded at high collector levels have sold online for more than $1,000 plus in certain cases. Coin value checker collectors also seek out repunched mint marks, RPM, and double die errors. A repunched mint mark happens when the mint mark was punched into the die more than once in slightly different positions, resulting in doubled appearance. A double die error, on the other hand, is caused when the die itself has a doubling of design elements and transfers that to the struck coins. In 1981 pennies, double die obverse or reverse varieties can carry modest premiums, depending on the prominence of the doubling and the condition of the coin. TechMesa.org+1, there's also the fascinating phenomenon known as die cuts, raised blobs of metal where a portion of the die broke away completely, and quirky small crack errors like BI errors, where damage between letters makes Liberty look like Liberty. These oddities, while sometimes small, have their own collector niches and can draw attention and value ranging from a few dollars to several dozen dollars or more, depending on rarity and desirability. TechMesa.org, a truly remarkable error would be something like a wrong planchet error, where a penny die strikes a blank intended for a completely different denomination, for instance a dime or a nickel planchet. Those are extremely rare and tend to bring significant premiums when authenticated. A misplanchet Lincoln cent that weighs well under or well over the standard 3.11 G could be something extremely special indeed. TechMesa.org now, let's talk about proof coins and special collector strikes. The 1981 S-proof pennies from the San Francisco Mint were not intended for circulation, but were struck for collector sets. Proof coins usually have a mirror-like finish, sharper details, and sometimes command higher prices. Typical proof values can range modestly, a few dollars for common grades, to much higher for top-graded examples. CoinIdentifier.com. You might be wondering about grading. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a scale up to 70. A coin that gets a grade of MS67 or above, meaning nearly perfect, can command prices well beyond typical circulated and even typical uncirculated examples. Some 1981 pennies graded MS67 plus have sold for well into the hundreds of dollars, and occasionally into the low thousands for truly exceptional specimens. Errorcoins.org. No matter what kind of variety or error your 1981 penny might have, authenticity matters. Serious collectors often send coins off to grading and authentication services to verify that an error is genuine and not a post-mint alteration or artificial modification. This process provides buyers with confidence and can have a dramatic impact on the coin's market value. As we continue exploring the 1981 Lincoln penny, it's important to understand the collecting mindset. To most people, a penny is insignificant. But for a collector, a single 1981 penny can represent history, artistry, and the thrill of the hunt. Imagine sifting through a roll of coins, and suddenly you spot a shiny, slightly misaligned coin. That subtle off-center strike, a tiny die crack near Lincoln's shoulder, or an unusual mint mark could instantly turn a mundane penny into an object of fascination worth hundreds of dollars in the right market. The heart of numismatics is learning to spot these subtle differences, because even the tiniest imperfection or unique feature can separate a common coin from a rare collectible point. One of the first things serious collectors examine is weight and composition. While standard 1981 pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, small anomalies in weight or density can indicate errors or unique planchets. For example, a penny that weighs slightly more than 3.11 grams might have been struck on a planchet intended for another coin, a rare occurrence that immediately attracts attention. These wrong planchet errors are so uncommon that they often require verification by a professional grading service to ensure they weren't artificially modified after minting. Authentic examples are extremely prized and can command surprisingly high premiums at auction. The eye of the collector is trained to notice subtle die variations as well. In 1981, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints were actively producing Lincoln cents, and each mint had minor differences in die preparation. These slight differences sometimes result in repunched mint marks or subtle doubling of letters, especially in Liberty or the date. These double die varieties, while rare in the 1981 series compared to other years, are still sought after. Even minor doubling can push a coin's value well beyond its face value, when graded properly. Off-center strikes are another fascinating category. The degree of off-center determines rarity and desirability. A penny with 5% off-center might be interesting but not exceptionally valuable, while one that is 50% off-center and still legible could be considered a major collectible. Dealers and online auctions often feature off-center 1981 pennies with premiums ranging from $50 to several $100s, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. The combination of condition and error type is critical here, as even a small scratch on a high-quality error coin can reduce its market appeal. Another error type that attracts attention is the broad strike. This occurs when the coin is struck without a collar, causing the metal to spread outward, resulting in a larger than normal diameter and a flattened appearance. These coins are rare, dramatic, and sometimes considered museum-worthy pieces by advanced collectors. They exemplify the unpredictable nature of coin minting and the excitement of discovering something completely unique in circulation. When discussing value, grading becomes the most critical factor. Collectors rely on the established grading scale, from poor, 1 to mint state, 70, to assess a coin's condition. A 1981 penny graded MS65RD, mint state, red, lightly handled, is significantly more valuable than the same coin in circulated condition, even if the circulated coin has a minor error. The red designation refers to the reddish tone of the original copper, which gradually darkens over time as the coin is exposed to air. Coins that maintain their original color without toning or corrosion are prized for both aesthetic appeal and rarity. Proof coins, particularly the 1981 S-proof, are another area of interest. Proof coins are struck using specially prepared dies and planchets to create a mirror-like finish with sharply detailed designs. While circulating pennies of the same year are common, proof coins are far less numerous and have always been intended for collectors. In pristine condition, a 1981 S-proof penny can sell for several tens of dollars, and higher-graded examples may fetch even more. Collectors love these coins not just for value, but for their beauty, perfection, and the artistry involved in their production. Historical context also adds depth to the 1981 Lincoln penny. This coin was produced during a period of economic change in the United States. Copper prices had fluctuated in the late 1970s, and the mint faced challenges in producing consistent pennies with high-quality metal. Coins from this era often reflect subtle variations caused by these factors, including planchet inconsistencies, die wear, or slight misalignments in striking. Understanding this context helps collectors appreciate why a coin might look slightly different from its neighbors in a roll. But let's not forget BI errors, a quirky and highly collectible anomaly. The BI error occurs when a die crack runs between the letters B and E in Liberty, giving the illusion of an extra letter I. These errors are fascinating because they are usually accidental, small, and often overlooked unless one examines the coin carefully. A well-preserved 1981 penny with a noticeable BI error can fetch a premium because it is visually distinct and rare. Collectors also pay attention to toning. While toning can occur naturally over decades due to oxidation, some coins develop beautiful rainbow or copper patinas that enhance visual appeal. A toned 1981 penny in excellent condition with an unusual hue may become more desirable than a standard untuned coin, particularly for collectors who prioritize aesthetic beauty alongside rarity. Market trends show that while billions of 1981 pennies exist, interest in error coins has steadily grown. Online auctions, coin shows, and numismatic forums reveal a dynamic community where rare 1981 errors can sell from tens to hundreds of dollars depending on type and grade. Serious collectors and investors study these trends meticulously, watching for coins that are underappreciated in circulation before they gain value over time. That it's worth noting that even small, seemingly mundane details matter. A minor scratch, a faint die crack, or a tiny misalignment can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth $100 or more. Numismatics is a field of patience, observation, and attention to detail. Every coin tells a story, and 1981 pennies, whether ordinary, slightly flawed, or dramatically erroneous, are no exception. In fact, some of the most exciting moments for collectors come from unexpected finds. People have discovered 1981 pennies with errors in rolls of circulation coins, tucked away in jars or old wallets for decades. Imagine opening a roll and spotting a shiny coin with an off-center strike or doubled lettering. The thrill of discovery is part of what keeps collectors engaged year after year. To truly understand the world of 1981 Lincoln pennies, it helps to look at real-life examples of how collectors interact with these coins in the marketplace. While billions of pennies were produced in 1981, the ones that catch the eye are those that break the rules of perfection, exhibit unusual errors, or have been preserved impeccably in top condition. Online auction records show that off-center strikes, doubled dies, and proof coins can command anywhere from tens to hundreds of dollars, depending on rarity, condition, and desirability. A dramatic 50% off-center 1981 D penny, for instance, might sell for several $100s to a collector who has been searching for a striking example for years. Collectors often discover coins like this in the most ordinary places. One common story involves someone receiving a roll of pennies from a bank and immediately noticing a coin that appears different in color, alignment, or strike depth. Perhaps the copper has a brighter red sheen than usual, or the Lincoln Memorial is slightly off-center. Such discoveries are exhilarating because they transform an everyday object into a treasured artifact. Coins with unusual die cracks, folds, or minting anomalies often appear mundane at first glance, but under magnification, subtle details leap out, telling the story of how the coin was struck decades ago. Auction houses specializing in numismatics often see 1981 pennies in collections that include varieties and error coins. For example, a collector might submit a 1981 penny exhibiting a subtle repunched mint mark, where the D for Denver appears slightly doubled. Even though this doubling can be minor, authentication and grading by services like PCGS or NGC can elevate the coin's value, sometimes reaching $200 to $500, depending on condition and demand. Coins with more dramatic errors, such as strong off-center strikes or foldovers, are rarer and can sell for $1,000 or more if the coin is visually impressive and certified. Grading plays a pivotal role in determining value. Coins are examined for luster, color, strike quality, and surface imperfections. A perfectly preserved 1981 Lincoln cent with an error can be worth hundreds, while the same error on a worn coin may only fetch a modest premium. Numismatic grading scales from poor 1 to mint state 70 provide a standardized way for collectors to assess quality and value. Mint state coins, MS60, MS70, are especially sought after because they have never circulated and maintain original detail and coloration. Proof coins, particularly the 1981 S-proof Lincoln penny, are a unique category. These coins were produced specifically for collectors, featuring a highly polished, mirror-like finish. Unlike regular circulating pennies, proof coins showcase sharp details and precise strikes, making them highly desirable. A 1981 S-proof penny in MS67 or higher condition can sell for $50 to $200, while exceptionally high-grade specimens may command higher prices at auction. Proof coins represent both artistry and perfection in minting, offering a fascinating contrast to the mass-produced circulation pennies of the same year. Errors like BA variations add another layer of intrigue. The BA error occurs when a die crack forms between the B and E of Liberty, creating the appearance of an extra letter. These coins are highly collectible because they are visually distinct and relatively rare. A well-preserved BIE 1981 penny might sell for $100 to $250, depending on how clear and prominent the error appears. It's a reminder that even the smallest anomalies can elevate a coin from ordinary to extraordinary. Another fascinating phenomenon is die doubling, which occurs when the die itself contains a doubled image that is transferred to the coin. For 1981 pennies, doubled dies can appear on the date, lettering, or even Lincoln's profile. Subtle doubling may be overlooked by casual observers, but collectors recognize the importance and potential value of these variations. Dramatic doubled die examples can command substantial premiums, particularly when combined with excellent preservation. Off-center strikes are among the most visually dramatic errors. A slight off-center strike may only create a small crescent of missing design, while a severe strike can result in a coin where half of Lincoln or the memorial is missing. Collectors prize these dramatic errors for their rarity and visual appeal, and the market often reflects this demand. Coins with off-center strikes that are well-preserved and clearly show the minting anomaly can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Fold-over strikes are another highly sought-after error. When the coin's planchet folds before or during striking, the result is a distorted or doubled design in certain areas. Fold-over pennies are rare, and their value depends on severity, preservation, and market demand. A dramatic fold-over error on a 1981 penny can easily attract attention from specialized collectors who focus exclusively on error coins. Collectors also look at toning and color, which can impact desirability. A naturally toned penny with rainbow or reddish copper hues may be more attractive than a standard brown or green-toned coin. Preservation of original color, especially in mint-state examples, adds both aesthetic and monetary value. In fact, coins with unusual but natural toning often draw premium interest from collectors who appreciate both rarity and beauty. The 1981 penny also carries historical significance. Minted during a period of economic fluctuation in the U.S., copper prices were higher, and the mint faced challenges in producing consistent planchets. This sometimes led to slight variations in weight, strike, and appearance. Collectors who understand this context can better appreciate why certain coins appear slightly different and may value them more highly as part of a historical narrative. Even in ordinary circulation, finding a 1981 penny with an unusual feature can be thrilling. Perhaps the coin has a faint die crack or slightly doubled lettering. Even these minor anomalies can excite collectors because they reveal a story of minting imperfections and the fascinating processes behind coin production. Many collectors enjoy examining rolls of pennies, searching for these rare gems. The thrill of discovery is part of what makes numismatics so engaging, turning everyday pocket change into potential treasure that in modern marketplaces. 1981 pennies with verified errors or exceptional preservation are regularly listed in online auctions, coin shows, and specialized marketplaces. The demand reflects both collector interest and investment potential. Coins authenticated by PCGS or NGC have higher confidence in value, and even subtle varieties or minor errors can fetch premiums well above face value. Collectors appreciate the transparency and standardization provided by professional grading services, which has become essential in today's numismatic world. Ultimately, the story of the 1981 Lincoln penny is more than just a monetary tale. It's about history, artistry, and the thrill of uncovering rare errors hidden in plain sight. It's about paying attention to small details, appreciating the beauty of a perfectly struck proof coin, and valuing the unexpected imperfections that make certain pennies remarkable. Whether you are a casual collector or a dedicated numismatist, each 1981 penny has a story waiting to be discovered, a potential hidden treasure that bridges history, craftsmanship, and collector passion. As we continue exploring the fascinating world of 1981 Lincoln pennies, it's important to realize that even small, subtle anomalies can create extraordinary collector value. Every coin minted carries its own story, and the 1981 penny is no exception. The ordinary circulation coin hides a universe of possibilities, from minor minting errors to dramatic off-center strikes and foldovers. For collectors, the excitement lies in discovering these rare variations in rolls, jars, or even drawers that have been overlooked for decades. One particularly sought-after category is dramatic off-center strikes. While minor misalignments are somewhat common, extreme off-center strikes, where half the coin is missing or the Lincoln memorial is partially obscured, are exceptionally rare. These coins are often preserved and submitted to grading services for authentication. Certified examples in top condition can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the misalignment and the coin's overall eye appeal. Collectors are drawn to these coins because each one is unique. No two off-center strikes are exactly the same. Fold-over errors are equally captivating. A fold-over occurs when a planchet folds onto itself before being struck by the die. The resulting coin often exhibits doubled or distorted features in specific areas. Fold-over 1981 pennies are not only visually dramatic, but they also demonstrate the complex minting process, revealing the precision required to create a seemingly simple coin. Depending on the grade and clarity of the fold, These coins can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars at specialized auctions. Another fascinating variety is the repunched mint mark, RPM. The 1981 pennies from Denver and San Francisco occasionally show slight doubling or misalignment of the D or S mint marks. These subtle anomalies occur when the mint mark was punched multiple times into the die, slightly shifting its position. While minor doubling might go unnoticed by casual observers, collectors trained to recognize these features understand their significance. An authenticated RPM penny can attract premium interest, sometimes several times higher than a standard coin. Die cracks and cuds also play a major role in collector interest. A die crack occurs when the coin die develops a fracture, producing a raised line or irregularity on the struck coin. A die cud happens when a portion of the die breaks away entirely, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin. 1981 pennies with prominent die cracks or cuds are highly collectible because they demonstrate the imperfections of the minting process. Serious collectors often seek these examples for their uniqueness, and certified coins with striking anomalies can easily command prices ranging from tens to hundreds of dollars, depending on severity and condition. Double die errors are among the most dramatic varieties. A double die occurs when the coin die itself contains duplicated design elements that are transferred to the coin during striking. In 1981 pennies, double die examples might include doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or Lincoln's profile. While these errors are relatively rare in 1981, they are highly prized by collectors because the doubling is visually striking and unmistakable. Coins with pronounced doubling in high grades can fetch several $100s, and rare strong examples might reach even higher auction prices. Collectors also pay close attention to toning and color. While most 1981 pennies are a standard reddish copper, natural oxidation over decades can produce a spectrum of beautiful tones, including golden, amber, and even rainbow-like hues. A naturally toned coin with original luster is often more valuable than an untuned counterpart, especially in mint state condition. Coins with unusual but aesthetically pleasing toning appeal to collectors who value both rarity and visual impact. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, the 1981 S proofs, are particularly desirable for collectors seeking pristine, mirror-like examples. These coins are struck on specially prepared planchets using highly polished dies to create a reflective finish and sharp detail. Proof pennies are not meant for circulation, making them rarer than standard coins. A 1981 S proof in MS67 or higher can command $50 to $200, depending on demand, with exceptional examples sometimes achieving even higher prices in auctions. Proof coins combine technical perfection with collector appeal, creating a beautiful contrast to circulation strikes. The historical context of the 1981 penny also adds depth to its story. Minted during a period of economic challenges and fluctuating copper prices, the U.S. Mint occasionally faced minor inconsistencies in planchet composition, weight, and die preparation. These subtle variations occasionally resulted in coins with slight irregularities, differences that collectors now study meticulously. Understanding this historical background allows collectors to appreciate why certain pennies look different, even when they come from the same production year. Collectors often enjoy the thrill of discovery. Imagine receiving a roll of 1981 pennies from a bank, casually flipping through each coin, and suddenly noticing one with a slightly off-center strike or faint doubling on the date. That excitement, the moment a mundane coin transforms into a potential treasure, is at the heart of numismatics. Many of the most prized 1981 pennies were discovered in everyday circulation, tucked away unnoticed for decades until a keen-eyed collector spotted them. Authentication and grading are critical for establishing value. Serious collectors rarely rely on visual inspection alone. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC provide standardized evaluation for condition, strike quality, and authenticity. Coins graded MS65 or higher, especially those with verified errors, are significantly more valuable than ungraded examples. Grading ensures buyer confidence, particularly in online auctions or specialized coin shows, and can dramatically impact the price a coin commands. Market trends for 1981 pennies show consistent collector interest, particularly in error and proof coins. while ordinary circulation pennies are virtually worthless beyond face value. Coins with even minor anomalies can attract considerable attention. Online marketplaces, coin shows, and auctions regularly feature 1981 pennies with BIE errors, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and other unusual features. Prices for desirable coins range from $50 to several $100s, with exceptional specimens commanding even higher premiums. Collectors also study subtle varieties, such as small die cracks, partial doubling, or minor mint mark anomalies. These small details require careful observation, often using magnification tools, scales, and proper lighting. Numismatics is as much about patience and meticulous attention to detail as it is about historical appreciation and market knowledge. The coins themselves may be small, but the process of discovering and evaluating them is complex, fascinating, and immensely rewarding. Even mundane coins have stories to tell. A 1981 penny, ordinary at first glance, may reveal a subtle die crack or a slightly off-center strike upon closer inspection. The thrill of uncovering these details is part of the joy of collecting. Many collectors maintain detailed logs or photograph every coin, studying each minor imperfection and evaluating potential value. Over time, these observations lead to deeper knowledge, expertise, and, occasionally, the discovery of rare gems that were previously overlooked. Ultimately, the 1981 Lincoln penny exemplifies the intersection of history, craftsmanship, and collector passion. Its standard circulation coins may be common, but its errors, proofs, and top-grade examples tell a rich story of minting, artistry, and human fascination with rare anomalies. Whether you are a casual hobbyist or a seasoned numismatist, the 1981 penny offers endless opportunities for exploration, study, and excitement. Each coin has the potential to be a window into the past, a lesson in minting techniques, and a piece of the vast, intricate world of U.S. coinage. Collectors often describe the moment they discover a rare 1981 penny as a thrill unlike any other. Imagine rummaging through a jar of coins you've saved for years, or flipping through a fresh roll from the bank. Most of the coins are ordinary, worn, or dull, but suddenly, one penny catches your eye. Perhaps the copper gleams a little brighter, or the design seems slightly misaligned. That's when the excitement begins. Many serious collectors have reported finding off-center strikes, foldovers, or subtle double dies completely by accident. These discoveries transform an everyday object into a treasure that tells a story of minting, history, and chance. Extreme off-center strikes in 1981 pennies are among the most dramatic examples. In some cases, the coin is so misaligned that half of Lincoln's profile is missing or the Lincoln memorial is partially absent. Coins like this are extraordinarily rare because such errors occur in only a tiny fraction of the billions of coins minted. Collectors prize these anomalies not just for their rarity, but for their visual impact. A coin with a 50 to 60% off-center strike can be considered museum-quality material, and when submitted to a professional grading service, it often commands hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and appeal. Foldover strikes are equally fascinating. Imagine a penny where the metal folded onto itself before the strike, producing a doubled or distorted image. The result is a coin that looks almost surreal, with exaggerated design elements and irregular edges. Foldover 1981 pennies are uncommon, making them highly sought after in specialized numismatic circles. Collectors often describe the thrill of spotting these foldovers as a moment of pure discovery, something that elevates a simple coin into a conversation-worthy collectible. Repunched mint marks, RPMs, also captivate collectors. Occasionally, the D or S mint mark on a 1981 penny appears doubled, slightly misaligned, or repunched due to the die being stamped multiple times. While subtle doubling may go unnoticed by casual eyes, trained collectors immediately recognize the anomaly and understand its significance. RPM pennies, when authenticated and graded, can fetch a premium over ordinary circulation coins, sometimes several times their face value, especially if the doubling is clear and visually striking. DPI errors are another popular variety. This error occurs when a die crack develops between the B and E in Liberty, creating the illusion of an extra I. While the error may be small, It is instantly recognizable to collectors and adds uniqueness to an otherwise standard coin. A 1981 penny with a well-defined BIE error in excellent condition can easily reach $100 to $250 in the collector market. Such anomalies demonstrate that even the smallest variations can create substantial interest. Double die errors on the obverse or reverse are highly prized. These errors result from a misalignment in the die that transfers double design elements to the coin itself. In 1981 pennies, doubling may appear on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile. Collectors particularly value coins with pronounced doubling in high-grade condition because the visual effect is striking and unmistakable. Prices for verified double-die 1981 pennies often range from $200 to $600 or more, depending on severity and condition. Proof coins, especially the 1981 S-proof penny, are another area of interest. These coins were struck for collectors using polished dies and planchets, creating a mirror-like finish and sharp details. Proof coins are rarer than circulation pennies and are highly sought after in high-grade condition. A 1981 S-proof in MS67 or higher can sell for $50 to $200, while exceptional examples may achieve higher prices in auctions or private sales. Proof coins appeal not only for their rarity, but also for their aesthetic beauty and perfection. Toning and color add another layer of intrigue. While most 1981 pennies have a standard reddish-copper hue, oxidation over decades can produce a spectrum of colors, including amber, gold, or even rainbow-like iridescence. Naturally toned coins with well-preserved luster are especially prized, as the eye-catching colors make them visually distinctive. Collectors often seek these coins for display purposes, as well as investment, since rare or aesthetically pleasing examples often command a premium. Many collectors also track subtle die variations, including minor cracks, weak strikes, or slight doubling. These nuances require patience, magnification, and careful observation. Numismatics is as much about studying details and documenting findings as it is about collecting coins. Dedicated collectors maintain logs of their finds, noting the type of error, the mint mark, the degree of toning, and overall condition. This careful cataloging transforms casual collecting into a meticulous, rewarding pursuit. The auction market for 1981 pennies reveals fascinating insights. While standard circulated coins remain at face value, error coins and top-grade uncirculated specimens consistently attract competitive bidding. Off-center strikes, foldovers, BIE errors, double dies, and repunched mint marks all see strong demand among specialized collectors. Coins that are certified by PCGS or NGC generally command higher prices, as the certification provides assurance of authenticity and accurate grading. Interestingly, many high-value 1981 pennies were discovered completely by accident. Some collectors recount stories of finding dramatic errors while sorting through decades-old coin rolls or change jars. Others have discovered proof coins tucked away in envelopes or coin sets purchased at a bank years earlier. These unexpected finds highlight the element of chance in numismatics. The excitement of realizing that a coin you once overlooked could be worth far more than anyone imagined. Market trends show that while billions of 1981 pennies were produced, errors and exceptional examples remain limited, sustaining their collector value. Demand for unique and high-grade coins continues to grow as interest in historical U.S. coinage expands. Collectors appreciate not just monetary value, but also the historical context, artistry, and narrative behind each coin. A single 1981 penny, particularly one with a verified error or proof finish, can serve as a window into the minting practices and economic conditions of the early 1980s. That ultimately, the story of the 1981 Lincoln penny is about more than money. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the joy of discovery. Each coin, whether ordinary or extraordinary, represents a moment in time, a product of meticulous minting, and a piece of Americana. The coins that survive in pristine condition, or those with unusual errors, capture the imagination of collectors and investors alike, offering endless opportunities for study, appreciation, and investment. As we continue exploring the fascinating world of the 1981 Lincoln penny, it's important to understand that grading is the cornerstone of determining value. Collectors and investors alike rely on professional grading services, such as PCGS and NGC, to assess coins on a scale from poor 1 to mint state 70. These services evaluate the coin's strike quality, surface preservation, luster, color, and any minting anomalies, providing standardized documentation that is crucial for high-value sales. Without proper grading, even a rare 1981 penny with an unusual error might not reach its full market potential. For everyday collectors seeking valuable 1981 pennies, the first step is to learn how to spot high-grade examples. A coin that still retains its original reddish-copper hue, with minimal scratches or wear, is far more desirable than one that is faded, corroded, or heavily circulated. The red RD designation in mint state coins indicates the original copper color remains vivid, while brown BN indicates significant toning or oxidation. A 1981 penny graded MS65 RD can be worth several times more than a similar coin that has lost its luster. Next, collectors should focus on minting errors, as these are where true premiums are found. Some of the most sought-after errors in 1981 pennies include off-center strikes, foldovers, die cracks, BI errors, repunched mint marks, and double dies. Each of these errors has unique characteristics that can significantly increase a coin's value. For example, an off-center strike where the date and Lincoln's profile are partially missing is far more valuable than a minor misalignment of a few percent. Die cracks and die cuts are subtle yet important. A die crack is a raised line caused by a fracture in the die, and a die cut occurs when a portion of the die breaks off entirely. In both cases, the raised metal on the coin's surface creates a distinct, collectible feature. While minor die cracks might only add small premiums, larger, prominent cracks or cuts can command substantial collector interest, particularly when certified and in uncirculated condition. Double die errors occur when a coin die contains a double design that transfers onto the coin during striking. In 1981 pennies, doubling can appear on the date, the letters of liberty, or even Lincoln's portrait. Collectors value pronounced double dies highly, especially in coins with strong visual impact. Prices for verified double die 1981 pennies often range from $200 to $600, with exceptionally rare examples fetching more in competitive auctions. Foldover strikes are among the most visually dramatic errors. When a planchet folds onto itself before striking, it creates a distorted or double design in specific areas. These coins are extremely rare, making them particularly desirable. A well-preserved 1981 foldover penny can fetch hundreds to over $1,000, depending on severity and certification. Collectors actively seek these dramatic examples because each one is visually unique. BI errors are another intriguing category. The BI error occurs when a die crack forms between the B and E in Liberty, creating the appearance of an extra letter I. While subtle, this anomaly is instantly recognizable to collectors and adds uniqueness to a standard 1981 penny. Certified BI error coins in excellent condition often command $100 to $250, reflecting both rarity and visual distinctiveness. Collectors also pay attention to toning and color. While most 1981 pennies exhibit a standard reddish copper tone, natural oxidation over decades can produce a range of attractive colors, including golden, amber, and rainbow-like iridescence. Coins that retain original luster and display unusual toning are highly desirable, both for aesthetic appeal and collector value. Some collectors even actively seek coins with rainbow toning because they combine rarity with visual beauty. Proof coins, particularly the 1981 S-proof, represent another segment of the market. These coins were struck with polished dies and planchets to produce mirror-like finishes and sharp detail. Proof pennies are rarer than circulation coins, and high-grade examples are highly collectible. A 1981 S-proof graded MS67 or higher can sell for $50 to $200, while truly exceptional examples sometimes fetch even more in auctions. Proof coins appeal to collectors because they represent technical perfection, artistry, and the mint's craftsmanship. For serious collectors, auction records provide critical insights into the market. 1981 pennies with dramatic errors, such as severe off-center strikes or foldovers, have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Online marketplaces and specialized coin auctions frequently feature these coins, highlighting the demand for rare varieties. Professional certification through PCGS or NGC adds credibility and often significantly increases auction prices. Collectors also develop strategies to identify high-value coins in circulation. For instance, inspecting rolls of pennies with magnification tools, examining weight and thickness for anomalies, and observing color and strike quality can reveal hidden treasures. Many valuable 1981 pennies have been discovered completely by accident, hidden among ordinary coins in rolls, jars, or coin collections that have been untouched for decades. These serendipitous discoveries are part of the excitement and enduring appeal of numismatics. Another important factor is understanding minting history and production context. The 1981 pennies were minted during a period of economic fluctuation in the United States. Copper prices had been high, and mint production faced challenges with consistency. These factors occasionally resulted in slight variations in planchet thickness, weight, and strike quality. Understanding these historical factors helps collectors recognize why certain coins may appear slightly different, adding context and value to anomalies and errors. Even small, subtle differences can matter. A coin with a faint die crack, slightly off-center strike, or minor doubling might not look special at first glance, but trained collectors recognize these features as indicators of rarity and potential value. Documenting these coins with high-resolution photographs, detailed logs, and submission to grading services ensures that their unique characteristics are preserved and verified. Ultimately, the 1981 Lincoln penny is more than just a 1-cent coin. It's a product of meticulous minting, historical context, and collector fascination. Its ordinary circulation coins might seem mundane, but errors, proof coins, and top-grade uncirculated examples tell a compelling story. Each penny carries the potential for discovery, whether through a dramatic off-center strike, a subtle double die, or simply beautiful, preserved toning. Collectors around the world recognize these coins not only for their monetary value, but also for their historical significance, artistry, and the thrill of uncovering hidden treasures. Collectors often describe the thrill of finding a rare 1981 penny as life-changing, even if the coin's face value is only 1 cent. The excitement comes from the unexpected discovery, the possibility of rarity, and the connection to a long history of U.S. coinage. One collector recounted opening an old shoebox of coins inherited from a grandparent, casually flipping through decades of pennies, only to notice a 1981 coin with a subtle off-center strike. At first, it seemed ordinary, but under magnification, the Lincoln profile was clearly shifted, and the edges of the Lincoln Memorial were partially missing. That coin, after professional authentication, sold for several $100s at auction, demonstrating that even a seemingly mundane penny can become a treasure. Extreme off-center strikes are among the most visually dramatic and valuable 1981 errors. These coins can show 50% or more of the design missing, yet still retain a legible date or mint mark. Such dramatic misalignments occur in only a tiny fraction of pennies produced, making them extremely rare. Collectors prize these coins not only for their rarity, but also for their unique appearance, as no two off-center strikes are exactly alike. Some high-grade examples have been sold for over $1,000, especially when certified by PCGS or NGC. Fold-over strikes are another rare phenomenon. When a planchet folds onto itself prior to striking, the coin exhibits a distorted or doubled image. The result is a coin that appears almost surreal, with exaggerated features and irregular edges. Fold-over 1981 pennies are uncommon and highly sought after by specialized collectors. Auction houses report that dramatic foldovers can command prices from hundreds to over $1,000, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. Repunched mint marks, RPMs, provide yet another area of interest. Occasionally, the D or S mint mark is stamped more than once in slightly different positions, creating a subtle doubling effect. While minor doubling may go unnoticed by casual collectors, serious numismatists recognize RPMs as a key indicator of minting variety. Certified RPM 1981 pennies often fetch several times their face value, particularly when the doubling is prominent and visually striking. Die errors remain a favorite among collectors. The die crack between the B and E in Liberty creates the illusion of an extra I, producing a coin that is instantly recognizable and unique. Certified examples of 1981 BIE pennies in top condition can sell for $100 to $250 or more. These small anomalies highlight the beauty of minor minting imperfections, demonstrating that even tiny irregularities can dramatically impact value. Double die errors are highly prized in the 1981 series as well. A double die occurs when the coin die itself contains duplicated design elements, transferring them onto the coin during striking. In 1981 pennies, doubling can appear on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile. Pronounced double dies, particularly in uncirculated condition, can fetch $200 to $600, and rare strong examples occasionally achieve higher auction prices. Collectors value these coins for their visual impact and the way they reveal the complexity of the minting process. Toning and color are also important factors. While most 1981 pennies have the standard reddish copper hue, naturally occurring oxidation can produce a spectrum of colors, including golden, amber, and rainbow-like iridescence. Coins that retain original luster and display unusual toning are highly desirable, both for aesthetic beauty and collector interest. Some collectors specialize in coins with unique toning patterns, and such coins often command premiums in the market. Proof coins, especially the 1981 S-proof, are another critical area of focus. These coins were struck using highly polished dies and planchets to create a mirror-like finish with sharp details. Proof pennies are rarer than circulation coins and are prized for their perfection and artistry. A 1981 S-proof graded MS-67 or higher can sell for $50 to $200, while exceptional examples in MS-68, MS-69 condition occasionally fetch even higher prices. Proof coins combine historical significance, aesthetic beauty, and technical excellence, making them an essential part of any Lincoln penny collection. Auction records reveal remarkable examples of 1981 pennies with errors achieving extraordinary value. In one case, a dramatic off-centered 1981 D penny, nearly 60% misaligned, sold for over $1,200 after certification. In another instance, a 1981 fold-over strike with a clearly doubled Lincoln profile attracted competitive bidding, ultimately reaching $950. These examples illustrate that even coins minted in a year with billions of circulation pennies can occasionally achieve substantial premiums when rarity, error type, and condition align. Collectors also develop strategies to identify high-value coins in circulation. Examining rolls with magnification tools, weighing coins on precise scales to detect unusual planchets, and carefully observing color and strike quality are essential practices. Many high-value 1981 pennies have been discovered completely by accident, hidden in bank rolls, old wallets, or long-forgotten coin collections. The element of chance combined with keen observation keeps collectors engaged and constantly searching. The historical context of the 1981 penny adds richness to its story. Produced during a period of economic fluctuation, the mint faced challenges with copper prices and die wear, resulting in minor inconsistencies in planchet thickness and strike quality. Understanding these conditions helps collectors appreciate why certain coins appear different and why some anomalies are more likely to occur. It also deepens the narrative of the coin as a product of its time, connecting modern collectors to history. Ultimately, the 1981 Lincoln penny exemplifies the intersection of artistry, minting craftsmanship, and collector passion. Ordinary circulation coins may seem mundane, but errors, proofs, and top-grade examples tell a much richer story. Each coin carries the potential for discovery, whether it's a dramatic off-center strike, a subtle double die, a fold-over, or beautifully preserved toning. Collectors treasure these coins not just for monetary value, but also for the excitement, history, and personal connection each coin represents. The 1981 penny may only be 1 cent, but for collectors, it's a window into a world where small details create extraordinary value. From the thrill of discovering errors in circulation to participating in auctions for rare proof coins, each 1981 penny holds the potential to be a unique, valuable, and fascinating piece of American numismatic history. For serious collectors, The excitement of the 1981 Lincoln penny lies in the details that most people overlook. Beyond basic circulation coins, the most valuable examples are often hidden in plain sight, tucked away in rolls, jars, or long-forgotten coin sets. The thrill comes not just from acquiring a rare coin, but from recognizing the subtle characteristics that elevate its value. Learning to spot these features separates casual hobbyists from dedicated numismatists who can consistently identify high-value coins. One of the most important techniques for advanced collectors is careful visual inspection using magnification tools. Even slight die cracks, minor doubling, or subtle misalignments can indicate a rare variety. For example, a faint BI error on a 1981 penny may be overlooked without magnification, yet it can add significant value. Similarly, a minor repunched mint mark may seem inconsequential until examined closely, revealing a key feature that elevates the coin to collectible status. Weight and planchet analysis is another technique collectors use to identify potential errors. Standard 1981 pennies weigh approximately 3.11 grams, but coins that deviate slightly may have been struck on incorrect planchets or experienced anomalies during production. Measuring coins with a precision scale can help uncover these rare planchet errors, which are particularly sought after by collectors who specialize in error coins. Even a deviation of a few hundredths of a gram can signal an unusual and valuable find. Off-center strikes continue to be a primary focus for collectors. The degree of misalignment directly impacts value, with more dramatic off-center strikes commanding higher premiums. Coins with 5 to 10% off-center may be interesting, but generally have modest value. However, coins with 50 to 60% off-center strikes, especially in uncirculated condition, are highly sought after and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors often document these finds meticulously, photographing and submitting them for certification to maximize market appeal. Fold-over strikes remain among the most visually striking errors. These occur when a planchet folds onto itself prior to striking, producing a distorted design in specific areas. Each fold-over is unique, creating an irregular pattern that cannot be exactly replicated. Collectors prize these coins for their rarity, dramatic appearance, and the insight they provide into minting processes. A 1981 fold-over penny in excellent condition can fetch a premium at specialized auctions, particularly when certified and accompanied by clear photographic documentation. Double die errors are another category where advanced collectors focus their attention. Doubling can occur on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's portrait. Coins with pronounced doubling, especially in uncirculated condition, are highly desirable. For 1981 pennies, double die examples may not be as common as in other years, making them even more valuable when verified. These coins demonstrate both a historical minting anomaly and a visually distinctive feature that captures collector interest. BI errors are subtle but significant. The die crack between the B and E in Liberty creates the illusion of an extra I. While minor, this error is immediately recognizable to collectors and adds uniqueness to an otherwise ordinary 1981 penny. Certified examples in top condition can reach $100 to $250, highlighting how even small deviations from perfection can influence market value. Proof coins, particularly the 1981 S-proof, remain an essential part of advanced collecting strategies. These coins are struck on polished planchets using highly refined dies, creating mirror-like surfaces and sharp, detailed designs. High-grade proof pennies are much rarer than circulation strikes and are prized for their craftsmanship. A 1981 S-proof graded MS-67 or higher can sell for $50 to $200, while exceptional specimens may fetch higher prices at competitive auctions. Collectors often seek these coins for both their aesthetic beauty and historical significance. Collectors also pay close attention to toning and color. Naturally toned pennies can exhibit a variety of hues, including amber, golden, and rainbow iridescence. Coins that retain original luster and display unusual toning are especially desirable, as they combine rarity with visual appeal. Some collectors actively seek these coins for display purposes, while others view them as long-term investments. Toning adds another layer of uniqueness that can differentiate one 1981 penny from the millions of others produced that year. Real-life auction stories illustrate the potential of 1981 pennies. For instance, a dramatic off-center 1981 D penny nearly 60% misaligned sold for over $1,200, demonstrating the significant value of rare errors. Another example involved a 1981 fold-over strike with a clearly doubled Lincoln profile, which achieved a sale price of $950. These examples highlight that even coins produced in massive quantities can occasionally become extraordinary collectibles when anomalies, condition, and certification align. Advanced collectors also maintain detailed logs and photographic records of their coins. By cataloging each find, noting error types, toning, and condition, they create a valuable reference that helps assess both rarity and potential value. Some collectors even develop personal grading systems alongside professional certifications to track subtle differences in error types, preserving knowledge that can be invaluable for future acquisitions or sales. Finally, the historical context of the 1981 penny adds to its allure. Minted during a period of economic fluctuation and copper price volatility, the 1981 penny reflects the challenges faced by the U.S. Mint. Slight variations in planchet composition, strike depth, and die were produced subtle anomalies that today are highly sought after. Understanding these historical factors enriches the collecting experience, connecting enthusiasts to both the artistry and technical challenges of coin production. In essence, the 1981 Lincoln penny is a small coin with enormous potential. Ordinary circulation coins may be abundant, but errors, proofs, and high-grade examples tell a story of craftsmanship, history, and collector passion. Advanced techniques such as magnification, weight analysis, and careful observation of toning and strike quality enable collectors to uncover hidden treasures. Each penny carries the possibility of discovery, turning a simple piece of metal into a valuable, historical, and aesthetically intriguing collectible. Collectors often speak of the thrill of uncovering a rare 1981 penny as unparalleled. The excitement isn't just in the monetary value, but in the discovery itself, the moment when an ordinary coin transforms into a treasure hidden in plain sight. One collector recounted finding a 1981 D penny in a jar of decades-old change that appeared normal at first glance. Under careful magnification, it revealed a dramatic off-center strike, with nearly half of Lincoln's profile missing. After professional authentication, this coin sold for over $1,200, demonstrating that even coins from a widely circulated year can hold remarkable surprises. Extreme off-center strikes remain among the most coveted varieties. The degree of misalignment is critical. Coins with 5 to 10% off-center strikes may be interesting to some collectors, but their value is modest. In contrast, coins with 50 to 60% off-center strikes, or even more severe misalignments, are exceptionally rare. Each coin is unique, with varying visual effects depending on how the planchet was positioned during striking. These coins are highly sought after in auctions and can command premium prices, especially when certified and well-preserved. Fold-over strikes are another dramatic anomaly. When a planchet folds onto itself prior to striking, the resulting coin exhibits a distorted design, often with doubled or exaggerated features. No two foldovers are identical, making each one a unique collectible. High-grade fold-over 1981 pennies have sold for hundreds to over $1,000 at auctions, reflecting both rarity and the striking visual appeal of these errors. Repunched mint marks, RPMs, continue to be a major focus for collectors. Occasionally, the D or S mint mark appears doubled or slightly misaligned due to multiple punches in the die. While subtle doubling may be easily overlooked, trained collectors can identify these anomalies and recognize their significance. RPM 1981 pennies, once authenticated and graded, can fetch substantial premiums, particularly if the doubling is pronounced and visually appealing. The BI errors are a subtle but highly collectible variety. The die crack between the B and E in Liberty creates the illusion of an extra I, giving the coin a distinctive look. Although minor, the error is instantly recognizable to collectors and adds uniqueness to a standard 1981 penny. Certified BIE errors can sell for $100 to $250, depending on condition and clarity. These errors highlight how even small deviations from perfection can create value in the collector market. Double die errors are among the most valuable 1981 penny anomalies. Doubling can occur on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile. Coins with pronounced doubling, particularly in uncirculated condition, attract strong interest from collectors. Verified double-die pennies from 1981 can range from $200 to $600, and rare strong examples may achieve higher prices. The dramatic appearance of double dies makes them especially appealing for display or specialized collections. Proof coins, particularly the 1981 S-proof, are another key area for collectors and investors. Struck on highly polished planchets using specialized dies, these coins feature mirror-like surfaces and razor-sharp details. Proof coins are rarer than standard circulation coins and are prized for both craftsmanship and preservation. A 1981 S-proof graded MS-67 or higher can sell for $50 to $200, while exceptional examples achieve higher auction prices. Proof pennies combine artistry with collectability, offering collectors both historical significance and aesthetic appeal. Toning and color add another layer of intrigue. Naturally occurring oxidation over decades can create amber, golden, or rainbow-like iridescence on 1981 pennies. Coins that retain their original luster while exhibiting unique toning are highly desirable and often fetch premiums. Collectors appreciate the visual impact of toned coins, especially when combined with high-grade preservation and era varieties. Auction houses regularly highlight the extremes of 1981 penny collecting. Dramatic off-center strikes, fold-over errors, and double dies have consistently achieved notable prices. For instance, a dramatic off-center 1981 D penny sold for over $1,200, while a fold-over strike with a clearly distorted Lincoln profile reached $950. These examples demonstrate that even coins from a year with billions in circulation can occasionally reach significant market values when rarity, condition, and certification converge. Advanced collectors maintain meticulous records of their finds. Detailed logs, high-resolution photographs, and careful documentation of mint-mark varieties, die cracks, and toning allow them to track value and authenticity. Many collectors also develop personal grading systems alongside professional certification to differentiate between subtle varieties. This attention to detail ensures they can identify potential high-value coins and make informed decisions in buying, selling, or investing. Understanding the historical context of the 1981 penny is essential for appreciating its value. Produced during a period of economic fluctuation, with variable copper prices and die wear, minor inconsistencies in planchet composition and strike quality were common. Collectors who understand these nuances can better identify rare errors and appreciate the significance of subtle anomalies. Historical knowledge enhances the collecting experience and connects enthusiasts to the technical and economic challenges faced by the U.S. Mint in the early 1980s. That ultimately, the 1981 Lincoln penny is far more than a 1-cent coin. Ordinary circulation coins may be abundant, but error coins, proofs, and high-grade examples offer a wealth of discovery and value. Whether through dramatic off-center strikes, foldovers, repunched mint marks, BIE errors, double dies, or naturally toned proofs, each coin tells a story. Collectors treasure these coins not just for their monetary value but for the history, artistry, and excitement they represent. The 1981 penny serves as a reminder that even small, seemingly mundane objects can hold extraordinary potential. Through careful observation, professional grading, and attention to historical context, collectors and investors alike can uncover coins of both aesthetic beauty and financial worth. Each 1981 Lincoln penny has the potential to be a unique, valuable, and historically significant addition to a collection, bridging the gap between the ordinary and the extraordinary. As we reach the culmination of our exploration of the 1981 Lincoln penny, it's important to reflect on why this seemingly simple coin continues to captivate collectors and investors worldwide. What makes the 1981 penny remarkable is not just its age or face value, but the potential hidden in every individual coin, waiting for the right eye to discover it. From dramatic off-center strikes to subtle repunched mint marks, fold-over errors, BI anomalies, double dies, proof coins, and naturally toned specimens, the 1981 penny represents a world of possibilities within a small piece of copper. The highest value discoveries of 1981 pennies often come from dramatic errors. Extreme off-center strikes, where more than half of Lincoln's profile is missing, are among the most sought after. Collectors have paid thousands of dollars for these rare finds, especially when professionally certified and in pristine condition. Fold-over strikes also fetch impressive premiums, with dramatic distortions creating coins that are truly one-of-a-kind. A well-preserved fold-over or off-center strike in uncirculated condition can transform a 1-cent coin into a valuable investment. Proof coins remain another pinnacle of 1981 penny collecting. The 1981 S-proof, struck with polished planchets and specialized dies, showcases mirror-like surfaces, sharp details, and exceptional craftsmanship. High-grade proofs, particularly MS-67 and above, consistently attract collectors and can sell for hundreds of dollars. When combined with unique toning or slight minting anomalies, proof pennies become even more coveted, offering both historical significance and aesthetic appeal. Subtle anomalies also play a key role in determining value. BA errors, die cracks, cuds, repunched mint marks, and double dies may seem minor to the casual eye, but are highly prized in numismatics. Even faint or partial doubling can add significant value, especially when coupled with excellent preservation. Collectors who study these features meticulously gain a distinct advantage in spotting coins with rare characteristics before they reach the broader market. Toning and coloration can elevate an ordinary 1981 penny to a collector's treasure. Coins with naturally occurring golden, amber, or rainbow-toned surfaces, especially when the original luster is preserved, are highly desirable. Toning adds both visual appeal and uniqueness, allowing a collector to distinguish their coin from millions of others minted in the same year. Some coins with dramatic toning have sold for several $100s, demonstrating how beauty and rarity converge to create value. For those looking to maximize their collecting strategy, several key tips emerge. Always inspect rolls and circulation coins carefully. Use magnification to spot minor errors. Pay attention to strike quality and toning, and consider professional certification for high-value examples. Understanding historical context, such as production challenges and copper price fluctuations in 1981, helps identify coins that might exhibit anomalies due to variations in planchet composition or die wear. Detailed documentation, including photographs and logs, ensures collectors maintain accurate records of valuable finds. Market trends indicate sustained interest in 1981 Lincoln pennies, especially error coins and high-grade proofs. While ordinary circulated pennies remain at face value, certified error coins regularly fetch hundreds to over $1,000 at auctions. The rarity of extreme off-center strikes, fold-over errors, and pronounced double dies keeps demand strong, and collectors continue to actively seek out these special varieties. Investing in high-quality or unusual examples can offer both financial returns and long-term satisfaction for enthusiasts. Ultimately, the 1981 Lincoln penny teaches us that even the smallest objects can hold extraordinary stories and value. Whether it's the thrill of discovery, the appreciation of craftsmanship, or the potential for investment, this 1-cent coin embodies a unique intersection of history, artistry, and collector passion. Every coin tells a story of minting, a story of chance, and a story of the meticulous dedication of collectors who recognize the potential hidden in copper and alloy.